Hello and welcome to Let's Play Project Zomboid episode 27 on Special Agent Mulder's 34th day of survival. We're now in the new base, in the cabin in the woods, and I've done a fair amount of organizing of this base, and I'm already starting to like this new base a lot better than the old one. There's much more space, it's much more secluded, and I really dig this hardwood floor and floral wallpaper combination. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these hams out of the freezer. That'll be my breakfast once it unthaws, or once it thaws. Unthaw is not a word. So I decided today I'm going to work on some of my skills, including a skill we haven't seen yet. The skill we haven't seen yet is metalworking. But to do metalworking, I'm going to have to go out looting, and that's going to come a little bit later today. Before we get there, though, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to mark out the 20 tile radius on the generator. In the north, as well as the diagonal directions. So let's do north first. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So that's our sound radius in the north direction. Let's go ahead and double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Very good. For the diagonal direction, according to Pythagoras, one of the all-time greats of mathematics and geometry, I need to go 14 tiles diagonally plus one more. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, and 15. This might seem kind of pointless, but this is providing a valuable visual aid to show me the sound radius of this Jenny. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 13, 14, 15. Alright, I think that's enough of that for now. So I'm going to grab my car tools. All I need is the wrench, I think. And I'm going to get back into the habit of grinding mechanics skills. Or mechanics skill, not skills. Since I'm still at level 0, the only thing I can really do is radio, battery, and headlights. So let's enjoy some nice Zomboid ambiance while I do that to the Jeep. Okay, I'm reinstalling the headlights and taillights now. And my mechanics XP is now at 39 out of 75. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to plant some crops. It's best to do this when it's raining, so that you don't have to bother with watering your new crops. Let's start a little crop patch here. I don't like to worry too much about crop placement. Some Zomboid players are like hardcore about it because if the crops are a certain distance apart, then it's not possible for disease to spread in between them. But I've not found that it matters that significantly. I just planted 2 patches of potatoes. I'm going to do 1 patch of tomato and 1 of cabbage. It's best to plant your crops in a staggered sort of fashion. A couple of crops every, like 1 or 2 patches per day at the most. The reason why is you don't want like 20 patches all maturing at the same time. Then you can literally have like hundreds of cabbages that you harvest all at once, and you're not able to actually eat all of it. So I'm over at the fossil oil van, and I'm going to do the radio, battery, and lights. I'm watching my 6 for Zomboids, like always. So you only get mechanics EXP for uninstalling and reinstalling the same part on the same car once per day. But if you have multiple cars, then you can just do parts on each of the cars and you'll still get XP. It's just that the 24 hours, the 24-hour time limit for resetting the EXP is per vehicle per part. Hopefully that made sense. So since the fossil oil van and the Jeep are separate vehicles, I can uninstall and reinstall the battery on those 2 different vehicles and still get all the EXP. But I would not get EXP for doing the battery twice on the same car. The more you know. Alright, so after that little bit of grinding, my my mechanics skill is at 48 out of 75. Looks like the rain might be slackening up, so I'm going to go ahead and just water these crop patches. Got my watering can. Now the potatoes are fully watered. 1 patch, 2 patch, and both potato patches are fully watered. Didn't have quite enough water to do the tomatoes, but that's okay. That's why it's so great to have like 5 watering cans. Just go pick up another watering can. Water the rest of the tomatoes and the cabbages. I'm just going to place both watering cans near the crop patches so they can refill with the rain. I'm going to move this Zombo out of the way of my crops because I don't want a rotting zombie next to my crops. Who would? Who would? And it looks like it stopped raining anyway. Okay, let's head inside. I'm gonna stash my cabbage, potato, and tomato seeds. The wrench I'll just put in my book bag. I got some spare electronics. And I think I'm ready to go adventuring. So for metalworking, to start off with, we need the welder mask. Put that in the book bag, and the propane torch. The propane torch has a finite amount of propane gas in it. Every time you use your metalworking skill, you're going to deplete some of that propane in the propane torch. Similar to... Come on. Really? Similar to carpentry, the way you level metalworking at first is to disassemble metal components. To disassemble a metal component, I'm going to put on the welder mask, and I'm going to grab my welding torch and cut apart or disassemble the metal components. Doing that is going to deplete a little bit of the propane in the cutting torch. So that is why I've taken the time to mark all these propane tanks on the map, because it does matter. Having a nice good supply of propane is essential for metalworking. Go ahead and dispose of this biter. Adios. Don't see any others around. So I'm going to start with this house here that I marked propane. I think there's a propane tank in the garage. Go ahead and start here. I did already loot this house, so I don't have to explore like every room. I do have to go to the garage and find the propane. Need to be really careful about biters, as always. Got a little laundry room here. And a garage Where's the propane tank? Here it is. So to refill my cutting torch, I need to grab the propane tank so that it's in my main inventory. Like, I need to be holding it. It weighs 10 encumbrance. And then I can right-click on the propane tank and it will give me an option to refill the propane torch. So that's done. It depleted the propane tank from 10 to 9.69. So it only... Yikes. Man. I was kind of expecting... You're always supposed to expect a biter when you open a door, but you still get complacent, and I was a little complacent. I didn't quite expect him to be there, but I was still sort of ready. Anyways, so I got my propane torch. I'm going to go ahead and put on the welder mask. Wearing the welder mask is essential for any kind of metalworking. It's not going to let you do anything without your welder mask. And I'm going to go up to this clothes dryer, take the shirt out of it, and I'm going to right click and disassemble the blue combo washer dryer. Mulder pulls out his cutting torch and goes to town. I'm starting at 0 metalworking skill. Let's see how much this gives me. Okay, I got a message saying I failed to produce any useful materials. The only thing it left behind is unusable metal, which is even worse than scrap metal. It's just basically like completely pointless metal. And my metalworking skill went up by 2.5. Not fantastic. What I really need to do is read a metalworking skill book, but I don't quite have time for all of that. I'm in the bathroom now, and I'm going to go ahead and disassemble the sink and the toilet. But first, I'm going to use the water in them to fill my water bottles and wash myself and my clothes. The reason why I do this is once you disassemble the sink or the toilet, the clean water inside of it is destroyed forever. So there's no reason not to put that water to use to wash my filthy FBI suit if I'm already going to destroy the sink anyway. Alright, so Mulder just washed himself off in the sink. Now he's clean. Now I'm going to disassemble the white standing sink. The metal disassembly gets faster and gives you more materials as you level up in metalworking, obviously. Once again, I failed to produce anything useful, and I gained a little bit of metal EXP. Let's do the toilet. If I'm not mistaken, bathtubs are the #1 thing inside of a house that you want to disassemble. They give you the most EXP. And the toilet gave us a little bit, not very much. I've already looted this house, so I'm not gonna mess with going back through everything. What I am going to do, though, is... Nope, never mind. I was going to take the beige curtains But I can't do that because I don't have my crowbar with me. Bummer. Alright, I got this bathtub. I'm gonna go ahead and wash some of my clothes. Some of these clothes have not been washed in like weeks, and they are absolutely covered stem to stern with zombie blood and guts. Imagine the aroma of it is just not great, just not good at all. We'll do one more piece of clothes here. And I'll go ahead and disassemble the bathtub. See, my propane torch, which I previously filled all the way, is now at like 60%. So you don't have to refill your propane torch super often, but you do have to keep track of it. Okay, so doing that bathtub got me 5 EXP. It's not too bad, actually. At this point, it's probably more efficient to focus on bathtubs. Can I do this file cabinet? Yes, I can. Let's give it a try and see how much metal EXP this gives us. Looks like I got 2.5 out of that. It's not terrible. Oh, look at that. It's a crowbar. I am going to grab the crowbar solely so that I can grab some curtains. I am all about the beige curtains. And I want every window in my cabin to have a beige curtain. Can't tell if that's a white curtain or a beige curtain. It is white. No good. Must be beige. Master bedroom here. Generator magazine. I see 2 beige curtains. Let's go ahead and grab them. 1 and 2. Put those in the trusty backpack. Sort of forgotten to eat a little bit. Got another bathroom with a tub. Let's go ahead and wash a little clothes in the tub first. Come on. Alright, well sometimes the isometric view screws you over and you can't right click on the tub to make it bring up the wash option. So just disassemble it. That should give me 5 EXP. Is it EXP or XP? I guess it could be either one. Cool. Now metalworking is, what was it, 17? 17.5 out of 75. Alright, I'm going to grab this other curtain here of the beige variety. And I'm gonna go grab the propane tank, and that's gonna go home with me. I am pretty interested about the next house because if I can find the key to that park ranger truck, forest ranger truck that's over there, that's gonna be pretty choice. There's Zombo. No. I'm seeing things out of the corner of my eye. That'll happen in the apocalypse. This house is completely unexplored, so I'm going to check it out for goodies. Now, I don't need a lot of the food that's going to be in here, but I'm going to take some of the better high-calorie, low-weight type stuff, like mac and cheese. 690 calories for a box of mac. You bet I'm going to take that. For cans, I'm going to take spaghetti bolognese and pineapple. Yeah, I'll take the pineapple. The pineapple has a happiness bonus when you eat it because pineapple is delicious. Oh wow, this fridge has 2 lards in it. Grab both of those. Everything else is rotten, of course. Gravy mix and cocoa powder. Some marshmallows. Guess I'll eat the marshmallows. Got another can of spaghetti bolognese. Grab that. It's gonna do it for the kitchen. Bleach. I do want some bleach for my new base. So as I've said before, I need to be extremely careful with the bleach because double clicking on an item in the menu will make you eat it. I just demonstrated by double clicking on the ham in my menu, and there's no way to cancel the eating, or there might be, but I don't know how to do it. So I need to be extremely careful not to double click the bleach or to accidentally right click and say, you know, drink or whatever the right click context option is. All right, right click, grab. It was pretty goofy how you have to worry about that in this dumb game. It's like, did they really have to make it that easy to accidentally drink bleach? I don't think they did. Hall closet with nothing good. Got a garage with several empty gas cans, but that's... I have so many. I don't think I need any more. Jog upstairs. Nice little sitting area at the top of the stairs. I like that. Oh boy. There's a biter in that room. Squish. I hear another biter somewhere. In this cabinet here, I found a big hiking bag. Unfortunately, its stats are not quite as good as the large backpack that I have. But if it was earlier in the game, then that big backpack would have been a pretty sweet find. The other Zombo is behind this door. I could tell from the sound that it was only one. Otherwise I would have been more careful. Got a closet. Closet does have some decent loot in it. A hammer, military boots, but I don't think I need any more hammers right now. I've already got like 12 of them. Got the bathroom. We'll go ahead and what am I going to wash? I'm going to wash the boots. Going to wash the suit pants. And the suit jacket. Agent Mulder is a lot cleaner. I'm going to disassemble this bath for 5 EXP. And with this one metalworking run, I have leveled up metalworking about 1/3 of the way to level 1. Which ain't too bad. Go ahead and disassemble the bed for some carpentry XP. It's not quite going to level me up to level 3, but it'll get me very close. Oh, I was incorrect. It leveled me up to 3. Don't really understand why, but I'm not going to complain. Oh, it's because I have a different multiplier. The carpentry skill book reading that I've been doing at night now has given me a 4x multiplier on carpentry, so every bed I disassemble is 40 XP. Carefully clear the rest of this upstairs. 3 more rooms to go. Another bedroom. great in the closet. Got another master, I think, with a little closet with also nothing great. Suit pants. I'm gonna take these back with me because, you know, when you're an FBI special agent, you need to have an extra set of threads for when you're out investigating zombie apocalypses. I found a small gun case in the nightstand, and it has a full condition M36 revolver. Grab that. And 2 boxes of 38 Special. Pretty decent find. Guns are going to be one of those things that I'm going to try to start leveling up at some point. I would disassemble this bathtub, but I don't have enough propane in my torch to do it with. It's getting dark. It's getting rainy. My spidey senses are telling me it's time to go home, so let's head on back. But first, let's see if there's anything in the backyard. Can't forget the backyard. That's where the propane lives. There's propane over there, but I already got that one marked on the map. Nope. Okay. Back in the car. I'm gonna erase my marking at the house next door for the propane, and I'm gonna mark that house off that I just explored. Let's head on back. Build 42 of Project Zomboid, which is the newer version of the game that I'm not playing now. I'm playing Build 41 now. Build 42 is the new one. Build 42 adds a ton of crafting options and extra skills. It really tries to flesh out your options for rebuilding society, you know, sort of at a maybe 18th century level after the apocalypse. So there's a skill tree for blacksmithing. There's one for like masonry, I think, carving, stuff like that. So there's all those other skills and crafting that you can do in Build 42. Who knows, maybe I'll do a playthrough of Build 42 at some point. Kind of depends on how this one goes. Alright, so I'm gonna just grab the curtains out of the trunk. The propane tank is just so heavy. I don't feel like taking it out right now. Let's take a quick look around the base. I don't see any zombos. It is nice to have the marks on the ground for the radius of the noise for the generator. Seems like it's pretty safe out here. Gonna stash the propane torch and the welder mask on the ground. Now I'm safely inside. Look how clean and fresh Mulder looks. Love it. Alright, so I'm going to grab this dish towel. And I'm going to clean up some blood stains. Go ahead and demonstrate how this works. So this upstairs is covered in festering zombie blood stains that have now dried to this horrible dark color. So the way this works is you clean the tile, and any wall section that the tile is touching also is automatically cleaned. So this tile in front of the staircase, if I clean that tile, it should clean this nasty blood stain up. I need to have bleach and some sort of towel in my inventory for this to work. I have a dish towel in my inventory, so I'm going to right click. The option for clean blood comes up, and I just left click on the tile. Nice. And the bloodstain disappeared. Got to do this tile that's the staircase as well. Cool. Bloodstain clear. If I mouse over a tile and it shows red, even though I have all the materials, that means that there is no blood to clean up on that tile. So let's do this tile here. The schmutz on the wall goes away. Do this tile here. This is slowly consuming the bleach. I think one bleach bottle has enough for like 10 or 20 tiles or something like that. This is not at all required for any gameplay reason. It's purely aesthetic. All right, I just used up all the bleach. And now my upper landing is so much cleaner. Alright, so what I'm going to do is grab the hunting knife that I have as a weapon. I'm going to go to the sink, and I'm going to wash the hunting knife. Actually, it doesn't come up as an option, so it must already be clean. I'm going to go in the fridge, grab the stale salami and the stale frozen ham. Throw both of those in the oven. I'm preparing ingredients for stew, by the way. But first I need a cooking pot full of water. Just go outside and grab one. Alright, so I have stale ham and stale salami. the tooltip tells me that the ham needs to be sliced before adding it to most recipes. So I'm going to right click and slice the ham. Now I have 6 slices of stale ham. Do the same to the salami. And this is going to allow me to add these items to the stew. I'll do 2 slices of stale ham and 2 slices of stale salami. And the rest of the stale shit I'm just gonna put in the freezer for next time. This is the most efficient way to get rid of the food that you don't want. Go ahead and throw 2 eggs in that stew. And now we have an absolutely delicious ham, salami, and egg stew. But let's add a little spice to it. Have you ever considered butter to be a spice? Well, in Project Zomboid, just about anything can be a spice. Butter counts as a spice, vegetable oil counts as a spice, lard counts as a spice. So I'm going to add the butter to the stew. This is going to make the stew have better stats, and it's going to add some calories to it. Cool. Now it's finally time to throw the stew in the oven. Astute viewers will note that I have unclean, tainted rainwater that's making up the water part of the stew. Well, that's fine, because cooking the stew is also going to sterilize the water, so it does not matter as long as I cook it. Let's go ahead and throw that stew in there. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and store some of the junk that I have. Electronics. I don't really need to carry 2 water bottles around. So we'll just go back down to the 1 water bottle. While that's going, I'll just head on upstairs and hang a couple of my beige curtains. Bathroom's already got one. Spare bedroom. Remove the sheet, and we'll add the beige. And close the curtains. Stew is almost done cooking. The sheet that I took off the window, I'm just going to tear into ripped sheets. Now the stew is finished cooking. Go ahead and eat half of it. The rest of it I'll just stash on top of the stove. And then real quick I'm going to store the goodies that I got today. 2 cans of bolognese, 1 of pineapple, all-American weapon closet. We've got the small guns. Boxes of 38 special go in there. M36 revolver goes in there. Two-handed melee, I'm gonna throw that crowbar in there. Got 2 things of lard for the fridge. And some mac and cheese for the dry stores. That reminds me, I did want to do one more organization thing with the dry stores. So this dry stores cabinet here with light stuff is getting almost to capacity. So I'm going to take some of the heavier stuff out of here and store it in the other room. Cans of oats are 0.8 each, so I'm going to take all the cans of oats out of here. Coffee is a pound each, and I have 8 bags of coffee. Go ahead and grab all the coffee. And then the corn flour weighs 1. It's probably good enough for now, considering that it's 3:30. So I'll go ahead and put the cans of oats, the coffee, and the corn flour in this other cabinet in here. Double check that the oven is actually off. Head on upstairs. Master bedroom. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the curtains from the window. Add some beige. Close the beige. Remove the other curtains. And add the beige. Oops. Close the curtains. We've got 2 sheets, which I'll go ahead and rip. And then in the wardrobe, I'm going to go ahead and throw in there the suit pants that I found. And I think that's going to do it for today. I'll put the rip sheets in there too. Screw it. Check some stats. No, that's not the stats, that's the map. Check some stats. Weight is 89 kilos and dropping. Favorite weapon, crowbar. Killed 965 Zeds. And I've survived for 34 days. Mulder's gonna drift off. Sleeps until 9:40. That's gonna wrap it up. Peace.